Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. I am Muhammad Al Mutairi, and inshallah I'll be talking about cast ironing, and I will be covering some brief information about it. Most of the information are in the report. First of all, in my agenda, I'll be covering the introduction, problems, and issues in cast iron alloying processing, the alloys, the processing methods, strengthening mechanism, failure mechanism, and conclusion. This report attempts to identify issues associated with cast iron alloying processing. The major issues identified in the report are the major types, which are the sand-related defects, mold design-related challenges, and metal-related defects. All of these defects occur during the production of cast metal alloying. And I'd like also to mention the history, a brief history about the cast ironing. It is found in China in the 5th century, where they used to make the pots and the weapons from the cast ironing. Problems and issues in the cast iron alloy processing. One of the biggest challenges in the cast alloying processing is the high number of defects. While mass production and size flexibility are huge advantages of sand casting, for example, the trade-off is that the number of the defects tend to be high. Types of the defects are sand-related defects, porosities, inclusions, silica thermal expansions, mold design related defects, metal related defects. There are a number of different alloys, if we are talking about alloys, that fall under the category of cast iron alloys. The most commonly used cast iron alloys are the white cast irons, compacted graphite iron, gray cast iron, ductile cast iron, and malleable cast iron. During the trip of the cast iron, we go through the processing method. This production of cast iron involves a range of processes with different depending upon the form of cast iron required and the finishing product. Still, the preliminary steps of production of the different forms of cast iron are the same. The process of melting is required for any form of cast iron in order to produce a cast iron. Melting is the first step, let's say. After that, we have the casting, the sand casting, and the shell casting. Another step through our trip of the cast iron alloys is the strengthening mechanism. In order to get these results, the alloy goes through the processes of toughening, hardening, and normalizing the product. These are different strengthening mechanisms that are employed regardless on cast iron. While in the other side, we have the failure mechanism, which lies on fatigue and wear resistance. And in the conclusion, this report provides an overview of the major problems and issues that arises in the processing of cast iron alloy. The report also covered the various major types of cast iron alloys, the processing methods used to produce the alloys, and the post-processing techniques that improve the cast iron alloys. Other than that, the report brushes upon the strengthening method and failure mechanism associated with cast iron alloy processing. Lastly, the report comments on the sustainability issues associated with the production of cast iron alloy, especially in terms of the harmful emission into the environment. And lastly, I'd like to thank Dr. Intan and Professor Zaidi for their guidance and their help in seeking these informations. If there was any shortcoming, it is from me, and I apologize for that. And I am looking forward to meet our professors in Malaysia, inshallah. And I also like to to mention that more information are mentioned in the report. This was a brief presentation, and finally I would like to thank you again for your time. Thank you very much.